guys, welcome back to another episode of Vajayjays podcast. I'm Krista.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Tiffany.
And today we're talking about life after college. What was your expectation of life after college?
Finding a job. Just like that. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. At least from my experience, I was already working a job. I was working at the box office at school, still applying for jobs. And then I got offered a position, as a tax assistant. And I worked there for a while. And then I worked as a project coordinator at another company. But it was definitely not easy applying for jobs because they asked for X amount of years of experience when I've got 0 years of that. Mostly just from like customer service or like working retail. So I think I definitely should have applied for more like internships when I was in college.
I think that's something that they don't mention. Like they no one tells you like, oh, volunteer or sign up for internships or do this or do that unless you're like super involved in like campus life. And three of us, right, Krista, Tiff, and me, we all went to San Jose State, where it's a commuter school. You show up, you leave, and that's it. Like, yeah. Unless you're unless you're not from here. Like a lot of people from down south who go to San Jose State, then, they're like on a sports team or, they join a sorority or fraternity. And I feel like if you're not a part of those or a club, like there's no way for you to get access to information unless like someone is like telling you, like unless you have parents or like siblings who are like, get an internship, volunteer, like. Yeah. I feel like that wasn't part of it. I mean, Catherine, you were part of something. Like, did they like encourage you to get internships? Did they encourage you to volunteer?
Well, I joined like the co-ed fraternity, and it was a service fraternity, so most of it was focused on doing like volunteer work, but it wasn't much about like internships and stuff. And I didn't have internships until my second year. But for me, right after college, I thought I was gonna like get a job easily because a lot of people in the requirements they put like sometimes that they're looking for someone straight out of college. So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna work for like 2 years, and then I'm gonna move on to another job, and then I'm gonna be there forever for like a really long time. But then no, that's not how life worked out.
Dude, okay, like the biggest lie they told me in school was that one of my teachers, he said, you guys are going to be college graduates, you guys are gonna like make so much money. He said, I have this one student who made $90,000 annually right after graduation. He's like, and how is that not possible for all of you? And then as soon as I graduated, it was like, who the heck was that guy? Nobody is making $90,000 right after graduation.
No, my cousin did. He made even more than that. But that's because he did computer stuff.
Yeah, that also depends on your major too.
Yeah, it depends on your job.
I picked the wrong major. Damn it.
Okay, wait, hold on. When you guys were in high school, did you even like know what major you wanted when you were going to college? Me either.
No.
Oh, go ahead, Tiff.
Go.
Well, when I went to community college first for 2 years before going to San Diego, right? So like when I was in community college, they want you to pick your major to transfer. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I want something, because I have so many interests, like media and then teaching. That was like my first job. And then I knew I wanted to be with kids, but then I also wanted to do something creative. So then I was like, I'm going to do communications because I thought that it's such a broad major. I could do a bunch of things. But then that's also like what hurt me was when I came out, it didn't narrow things down for me. And I had experience in different areas. So then it's like I couldn't get a job in what I wanted to do because I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So yeah, I had no idea what to pick when I was in high school, and they never talked about that.
When I transferred, okay, hold on, backtrack. Nobody even told me when to apply to college.
True. You hear about it through friends doing it, and then you're like, crap, I need to do it now.
Like no one told me that we apply in October and then get acceptance letters in May. Like it's May. We're literally days away from crossing the stage, and everyone's like, oh, I got into SD, I got into San Jose State, I got into whatever. And I was like, what? Like, when did you apply? Like, where are these letters coming from? How do I get those?
Yeah.
Fun
I heard that from my sister.
Really? She told you when to go?
Yeah, I got 5 sisters ahead of me. So yeah, they were kind of like, around my junior year, they were like, hey, start looking for colleges that you might want to apply to, and then kind of just do your research, and then you should be applying like before, like literally like a whole year before you're supposed to be attending. So I kind of got a little bit of a start.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, you're
okay.
lucky.
People were
I
also
never. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Freaking Zoom. No, nobody ever talked to me about it either. And so basically, I didn't apply for school until like the very last week. And I only, because I knew so late, I started so late, I only applied to one school. I'm like, thank God that I actually got into the one school I applied. But I only applied to one school, you guys. What if I didn't get in?
Yeah,
You can go in the next quarter.
And then I finally found a junior college, luckily. And I went there and I was able to like skim through all my classes because I was an athlete. So I had priority registration and I was able to get all my classes as soon as I needed them. And then I'm about to graduate right after 2 years. And again, like, I didn't apply.
Wait, why?
Because I didn't know when.
Oh, okay.
Again, I didn't know when. Nobody told me. Nobody helped me out with the process. My coach was like literally lacking. Like, I thought she was gonna help me like get out and transfer to another college and play ball, but she didn't. Like, she didn't help me out at all. And I didn't apply to anywhere in the fall when I was supposed to. And then finally, like all summer, she's like, she feels bad, so she's like looking for a school for me to play all summer. And then that's when she shipped me out to Missouri, and I was in Missouri for a semester.
Yeah.
Hated it. Actually, it was wild. I'm not gonna lie. This is before my save days, but I like went out there with like being like, I can be a whole new person. Like, nobody knows me, nobody knows my past, nobody knows who I am. And so I was like, all right, cool. Tried to live that college life. But it was cool. I mean, it just wasn't for me. It was such a small town. Like, I always compare it to Great Mall's parking lot.
Oh my God.
Like, that's literally how big my town was.
Dang.
But then finally I got smart when I was out there and I applied in the fall to San Jose State and I got in. But I was able to go finally to university after trial and error.
Do you guys feel like you got like the full college experience while living at home? Because
Hell no.
all of you guys stayed in San Jose.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, well, Tiffany like lives, okay, well, Alyssa and Krista.
I mean, okay, I didn't go to like any like frat parties or whatever, but I was like, I went to parties that like my club held or like any of my friends held, which were like the standard college parties where they're just like drinking until like you pass out.
And so what did you drink? What was your preferred drink? Tito's?
Vodka, you guys know. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I drank
Tito's.
everything in college, but I was just like, the thing that didn't make me sick was vodka.
Oh.
So I could get drink that straight. You
Not
know I love vodka.
Dude, this girl,
I
she
like
was like
mixing vodka.
No, Catherine straight up just drinks vodka. She's like, I don't need a chaser. And it's
good to me. Like, it tastes like sometimes like nail polish remover, but I like that. I'm weird. Like, I love drinking mint stuff because I love it tasting like toothpaste. Like, I'm just
love the burn.
Toothpaste.
And you would love tequila. You would love tequila.
I do like tequila, but not as much as vodka.
I inherited so much vodka from you. It's still sitting in my garage. I'm saving it.
Is it from the party?
From every single time we've ever hung out and had
always
vodka,
had it
which
at
is a
my
lot.
house. Like my birthday, I think people brought me like 6 bottles of Tito's, and I just kept bringing it to other people's houses after because I'm like, I can't finish this.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, otherwise there wasn't like too much of like a difference from what I felt. I felt like it was the same. It's just you get to control how much of your time you want to really put in. Like, you're like, oh, do I want to go to class? No, I'll just skip today. I'll just go to like a Thursday class or something. Hey, you know my rule. I'm like, I can only skip. I gave myself, I only get 2 skips per semester.
Wow, you actually followed that?
I followed that during my junior and senior year because I was like, I really need to pick up on my grades. I need to graduate.
Wait, were you surprised because she skipped that many classes? Or that
it's too few?
She went to most of them.
Yeah, she went to most of them.
Really? You guys skipped hella classes?
Hell
I
yeah.
did.
I didn't
Hell
skip
yeah. Dude, I
any.
wanted
Like,
to have fun
sophomore
in
year.
college, and I don't want to like sound horrible, but my grades for my major didn't really matter. Like I just had to graduate, but when I get a job, no one's going to look at my GPA. So I was like, I'm going to have fun.
Right,
So-
she's right.
Damn.
She's so right.
I mean, I
Accurate.
passed, but I got to also have fun. So
You just get degrees, girl. It's fine. We graduated.
exactly, that's
we
what I
have
told
money.
myself.
It's fine.
Dang.
It's totally cool.
I picked the wrong major then because some of the jobs I went to, they really looked at the GPA, and they don't even check your overall GPA. They check your your concentration, and they make sure
Oh,
that those
shit.
are good.
Those ones are hella hard too.
I know. I was like, what the heck?
Wait, was this applying for like accounting positions, like
Mhm.
straight after college? Oh yeah, that's why. That's why they always ask.
Those
Like,
internships?
yeah, even when I'm looking at them now, they're like must have had a GPA or like the concentrated GPA of above like a 3.0 or something, and I'm like, next. It's
You
bags.
sound horrible.
I mean, for
Wait,
going
so-
to junior college first, I feel like I kind of got like a college experience. Like some of my softball teammates, it might be because I was also on a softball team, but some of my softball teammates are still like my very best friends today. I talk to them almost every day. And we did like party because the basketball team, they had like they were international students. So we had students
Oh.
from like all over the world, and the basketball coach would have them like in an apartment, and so we would just go to their apartment and party, and that was like the spot to go to because, and then like the basketball coach and our softball coach were hella close, so we always did like events and things together, so we knew them, like, you know, like it wasn't like we didn't know them and we were showing up, like we were all homies.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that junior colleges had like sports teams.
What? Yeah, girl.
I had no idea.
I
All
didn't
kinds of
either.
sports, everything, football, baseball, soccer, everything. Water polo, volleyball. It's just like high school, like for real, all the sports. Golf, there's golf teams. Tennis, did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what did you guys major in? And then if you could like go back in high school and reconsider your major or like your career path, what would you have changed it to?
Okay, so I did accounting and finance. I just picked it because it was like the most stable of the jobs, I guess.
Yes.
You get like a little bit more money for a little bit less like work, like effort. And I was like, okay, cool, I could deal with that because I didn't really have any idea what I want to do, right? But if I could change it, I would have gone into coding because I regret this. On my last semester, I learned a little bit of coding, and I found out that I actually really like that way more than accounting. And I was like, why didn't I just pick this or like try this out in the beginning? Then I could have got that $90,000 job.
True, especially living here.
Bay Area.
Well, I did communications. And if I could start over, I think I talked to Alyssa about this a lot, where I would have went into education because I realized like at my first tutoring job, I also got to work with my first like special needs kid. And then right away I was like, this is something I want to do. But because I already felt like I didn't know all the things you had to do to be a teacher because, you know, no one teaches you.
Mhm.
And so like when I looked it up way later after I graduated, I was like, wow, this is like a lot that I could have done while I was in college. So I probably would have done that or interior design, but probably be a special needs teacher first because I love kids.
You know, you can go back to school and get your master's, right?
Yes, I know. We talked about this. I'm not gonna do it.
You can. You don't need a BA or BS in education. It could literally be in anything. Like I had classes.
Yeah.
I had classes with some girl and she in my master program, and she was a film major. So she would always like, that was always her like whenever we had to like present lesson plans, that was
Mhm.
always her like go-to was to like throw film in there and like try to get our attention that way, and it was actually really interesting.
Yeah, I said like when I'm done doing all like this creative stuff, maybe when I'm older, I'm gonna either go back to ABA or maybe I'll go back to school. I don't know.
I was like, what was I thinking about it? graduated with finance, and if I went back, I don't think I would have stayed in business. I think I would have chosen what I really wanted to do, which was going into cooking and like baking. So I feel like I probably would have just foregone like the whole like college experience and just go to like an institute just to like actually
I wanted to
learn.
go to culinary school too.
Yeah, but
You
then
cook
you know
for
our
us?
parents.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. My
why
mom
would
was
you
like,
go
hell
there?
no. That and art school, she was like, nope.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, well there goes my hopes and dreams. I guess I'll just try to make it up with a lot of money.
So for me, I just finished college. Unlike them, they graduated already. And I received my master's in education. Well, I guess specifically teaching because there's many aspects of education. Do I regret it? Sometimes, just because I feel like, I don't know, there's something in me that knows I don't want to be a teacher for the rest of my life. But I do have passion for education and students, and eventually I want to change policies. So if I could do it all over again, I would kind of hope and wish to like major on like the political side. I don't know, like in high school, I really liked being an ASB. I mean, I know we didn't really change much or make many different policies, but you know, it was really fun, like, you know, trying to do that for our class. Um, and then now, like, I just have a passion. Like, I always said I wanted to be president of the United States one day. And so,
Hey,
what's her name? The Latina girl who's like super famous right now.
AOC?
AOC. Okay, yeah. So seeing AOC like up there and like at it, like honestly, it's super inspiring. Like super, super inspiring. Like I don't mean to bring politics into our podcast, but she's super, super inspiring. And just seeing like where she came from, right? Like she didn't have a political background, but you know, she's out there doing it and fighting for people. And that's something like I've always wanted to do, but like for students.
you go, girl.
So
Wow,
we'll
look
see.
at us. So many dreams.
No, we're so young. Life's not over. We can definitely accomplish many of these things.
Yeah. Do you guys sometimes miss school though?
No.
No.
The only thing is I like that it gave me like something to do every day, like structure and routine. And then it's like sometimes you can use it as an excuse as like why you couldn't get a job because like, oh, I'm busy with school. But now it's like I can't get a job because I can't get a job.
That's literally how I feel right now too, especially because I'm just done. So it's like I feel like I'm doing nothing. And then people are like, well, why don't you have a job? And I'm like, well, can't use the excuse that in school. But yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, I think as well as just like the socializing. I don't miss any of
True.
the learning, the textbooks, the papers. Like hell no.
And in college, everyone was so down for everything because like everyone just wanted to have fun. So like it was so
Yeah, it's
Chill.
time to be alive, man.
Yeah, I miss like the free schedule because like you don't go to class for 8 hours a day, right? So you like have like breaks in between, and like just like the dumbest but craziest things happen in between those breaks. Like one time I was going to class and I was just sitting in my car like waiting in between a break, and there's these two dudes, like it's like 8:30 a.m. and you hear like a in the car next to me, and they're like chugging beers at 8:30 a.m. in their car, and I was like, what the heck? I kind of miss like having like crazy stories like that.
yeah, like being so carefree.
Yes, carefree.
So how do you guys feel about student loans? Did you guys take any out? Do you have any debt? How much debt? You don't have to answer that, but
I can
No.
say how much I think.
Oh,
I have
you can go
10,000. I have 10,000 left to pay.
oh, you're lucky. That's nothing.
That's really good, actually. That's super
It's
good.
taken me a long time because I always compare it to my sister. She paid hers off in 2 years because she got a job right after college. She did it like so fast, and then here I am years later and still not done paying it.
Hey, it's fine.
I know, but it's just like that annoying like financial burden you have in the back of your mind. It's like you never want to spend money because you're like, crap, I need to pay off these loans.
Mhm.
I hear you, girl.
Oh,
I'm
so
gonna
what
be
you
paying
got?
off my debt forever. First of all, I'm a teacher, and if I get a job as a teacher, whew, your girl's gonna be paying this forever.
You don't make enough.
And I live in the Silicon Valley. Whew, you got me messed up.
I wish you could just like as a teacher trade, you know what I mean? Like can you get like debt forgiveness because you're teaching other people? Like trade school for school.
That's what I'm saying.
Put that in your policy.
School for school. Yes, when I make policy changes, that's in there. No, because okay, so I went to San Jose State. So my junior college was all free, and then I went to Missouri, and Missouri was a private school, and so I had to take out loans for it, and every semester was $10,000, and they only gave me half, not even half. They were like, yeah, we'll give you a scholarship. Come play softball for us. They didn't give me nothing. I still had to pay hella money. I think it might have even been $20,000 a semester, and I paid 10. But that also included like my room and board, my like meal plan and everything, because I didn't have a kitchen. Like I literally was like in a dorm room. And then I went to San Jose State, and when I got kicked out, you don't get financial aid when you get kicked out. So you had to take out a private loan. So when I took out the private loan to pay off my semester, because I literally have no money for college, like nothing. And so I had to pay that. And each semester was like $5,000, $6,000. So there was all that money. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to SC. I'm going to go to USC and get my master's degree. Most expensive university out there in the entire world. And every semester was $20,000. And I was there for 3 semesters. So that's already $60,000 on top of all my other debt. So your girl is racking up at, drum roll please, $100,000.
Oh my shit! Holy!
I was complaining about 10,000 left.
Dude,
Wow.
that's gonna be. Oh my god!
Rest of my life, y'all. Rest of my life.
Oh.
You know, your next dinner's on us. Damn.
Forever. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, girl, I'll pay for your meal.
No choice, you know. It's an investment in my future.
Yeah.
It's okay. From what I heard from my sisters is my mom also didn't save for like any of their colleges, but thank God we were poor enough to get financial aid. That has been a huge blessing. I only had to pay for my last year, and that was $4,000. Thank God. So no debt for me.
Lucky you, man. Lucky you.
Lucky.
I mean, to be honest,
And, like-
I racked up a lot of credit card debt, but I've paid a lot of it off. So I'm close to like $1,500 that's left.
Hey.
Good job.
I only have one credit
Short-term
card.
memory.
It's
I
crazy
only
as it
have one
sounds.
credit card too. I think everyone I meet has like multiple credit cards.
I only have one.
Girl, you got
Use
3?
them all?
I'm
can't-
only one?
Yeah.
Remember
Well, this
when
is
I
a
took
real
away your
adult.
credit cards? That was so much fun.
Yeah, okay, so my credit card habits are really bad. I had to give Krista all my credit cards while I paid them off, so I didn't use them again. And I think I have to do that again because, you know, I'm poor and here I am with my credit card because I just got a new one because, you know, like once it expires, they send you a new one.
Yeah.
Armando
I
had
learned
them
from
all
you.
for a while.
I learned from you and I did the same thing. I gave it away for like 6 months, but then it made me remember, like I forgot I had a credit card and it was kind of nice. But then after that, I was like, now I know to just save. And especially during COVID, I'm not really spending. So
Yeah.
Yes, girl, yes. That was the only way. And my mom was like, no, it's fine. Like, you can use it for groceries. You can use it for your gas. I was like, no, Mom, you don't know me. Once I swipe, swipe. We gotta just hide it. We gotta keep it away.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually surprised, Krista, that you only have one. You are like our financial advisor.
Literally.
Well, technically I had 2, but then, well, does it count? Okay, so I bought Oliver's not engagement ring. He doesn't get one. It's just the one ring. But I bought his ring and I just said, you know, whatever, open up a credit card. Does that count? They didn't actually give me a card, I don't think. I don't know what I did with that.
well, if you never
So-
use it, then I don't think it counts.
So it's just
I
sitting
paid
there.
that one
in
off.
your
Mine, but
wallet?
mine still count.
You know, I have to
I
go
don't
look for that because I'm like, but anyway, I paid that one off. So maybe I had 2. Now I just have the one.
I think you still have 2. You just don't use the other one.
Oh, true. But I
Because you
needed
didn't
another
cancel it,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, true. I just thought that when I paid it off, it was done.
No, you still have it until you.
This is not covered in accounting, okay? Personal finance. Hey,
Honestly,
credit cards.
They should teach a class like credit cards in high school, because honestly, I didn't know how much like interest fees rack up when you don't pay time.
Yeah, when I didn't have the money to like pay off my credit card like in full each time, and I saw those interest payments rack up, I was like, what?
I was like,
You know what's
$30? What the
embarrassing?
fuck? Yeah. So bad.
Terrible.
My boss sat me aside and was like, Krista, this is how you get a credit card. This is how you use one. And she like walked me through all the credit card business.
Life
I'm
after
calling
college,
you.
what was the first purchase that you thought you'd make?
I think I bought a laptop.
I didn't think anything.
No? Like, you know,
I
like
was
a
just
big
like-
purchase
Wait, in college or after college?
after college.
Because I already
Oh.
had my car, so I was like, and then I had my laptop, which was old, but I didn't need anything else. Why? What was yours?
I bought my car in college. I don't know, I kind of just figured, you know, after college I would buy my house and I'd be like out living on my own by now.
You thought you were gonna have a house right after college?
Yeah.
Damn.
If we were living on the East Coast, hell yeah. But
Yeah, girl.
I'm not moving to SoCal. It's way too hot. It's too busy.
She said East Coast, girl.
No, I know, but if y'all ever said SoCal, I'd be
You
like,
know what? SoCal's
no.
not that hot. It's hotter up here. It's because SoCal's by the beaches. It's really not that hot.
Humid. I sweat a lot.
But it's happy.
I'll buy you a fan. It's next
No,
to Disneyland, girl.
I need the AC fan that runs while I walk.
Wait, me too. I'm like sweating all the time.
See? Exactly. I can't.
In college, you had to take some like stupid classes for GEs. So I took oceanology. So I learned about the ocean, and basically the ocean, it circulates. So it circulates clockwise, just like a clock. And so any East Coast will always have warm water. Any West Coast will always have cold water, because the way the currents circulate. So the warm water comes from the equator, right? Because it's hot down there, and it comes back up. Then it goes to the Arctic, and then it shoots back down. And so because we're getting our water from the Arctic, our water is freezing cold.
Wow, you actually learned something and
Aw.
remembered it.
Wow,
Do
wow, wow.
GEs.
GEs.
Watch, someone comments below and is like, actually, this.
Dang, I know. Correct
That was
me.
my major.
I know. Sorry.
Well, now that like we're older and we've all had, wait, how many jobs have each of you had? I think
Ooh,
You get a second to count.
Do internships
I know.
count?
Hold on, wait.
no, don't count internships. Count like jobs.
7.
I think I've had same. I think I had same 7.
Okay, I had 4 different titles and different like units that I worked
Is that
in.
all switching
like
from the
groups.
county?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then you had one job. Just kidding.
Then I only had one job, but I
think I
kind of
had,
just
like,
moved around
5.
there.
And when you guys like had all these jobs, did you take them because you actually wanted them, or you just took it because you wanted a job?
I needed a job.
Same.
I took one
No, I
job,
wanted this one.
mostly because I wanted it, and I was working at GameStop because I like playing video games, and the culture of like my boss and the workers were really chill, and like I didn't even have to really do that much. Like I talked to the customers as if they were my friends. I was like, hey, what you guys in for? Like, oh, this is a really good game that I heard. Oh, you want to get it? Cool. I'll ring you up. Just, I don't know, it was super chill.
Well, like now that
Not only for money.
we're older and we've had all these jobs, like do you guys think that it's important to find a job now that you're happy with? Because when all these jobs that I took before, especially after college, I just took them even though I didn't really care for it. But now I kind of want to be a little more pickier and like work for a company that maybe like I am passionate about, especially since I'm doing marketing. I don't want to like have to write content for something I don't care about. But then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be so picky because like everyone just needs a job. But I've kind of reached a point where I'm like, I don't want to deal with my horrible bosses anymore, because you guys know I had like 2 in a row treated me like crap, and it like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like I have the same kind of set standards where I don't know if I'm looking for a job that I like, but I don't know if I like it yet, which is why I'm testing the waters with it. And I don't think I particularly like hate like that part of like learning about the company. I'm willing to learn. And I think we're part of the generation where we don't know what we want, so we constantly keep switching.
Yeah.
And so it like kind of makes it harder for us to really find like our passion, because we're just like, oh, like I'm good at this, but I kind of want to try something new. So I feel like probably when we're maybe in our 30s, we'll actually find a job that we're passionate about and we'll want to stick with.
Like now I'm more looking at the companies, and like I know that I get passionate about people's products really quickly. If I'm like, well, this is really cool, then I would like totally want to promote them. But then for sure, I know I don't want to like market for like computer companies or like security camera stuff, because that's what I see a lot. And I'm like, I don't want to apply to that because I have no idea what they're talking about. And I don't really care to like learn about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like for me, because I haven't had a job in my specific like career path, that I can't really say like I want to be picky. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I want to be picky in like whatever district that picks me up. But at this point, when school starts in like 2 weeks, I'm kind of like, whatever district picks me up is the district that picks me up. Because of course, like I have a specific district that like I want to work for, and like, you know, certain people or whatever. But you hear horror stories about schools and how they don't work together and how everyone's like secluded, and I don't want to feel that way, you know. Like I'm a team player, and I want to collab, and especially collab with my grade level, so we're not working as hard, you know. And if I'm passionate about science, right, and you're passionate about, you know, social studies, like let me, you know, here's some of my lesson plans, let me have some of yours, type of thing, you know, just to make life easier.
Well, I guess Krista, you're just happy at your job, right?
Well, okay. I think it's different because I think I tried applying to like private firms and all that. I tried to like apply for, well, I didn't even try. Like I thought about applying for an accounting firm, but like when I met with recruiters, like I just didn't like anything they had to say. I didn't really feel like I wanted to make all this money because I feel like big corporations can kind of be like greedy, you know? They can step on like, you know, little people. And so it's kind of why I went into local government. And I like that because I know that what we're doing there is that we're not, although people don't see it this way, we're not like trying to like take advantage of people as much as they think that we are. Like I really do see that, you know, what we do with our money is responsible. And sometimes I do get tired of it. Like I can get tired of like, since everybody is like triple or double my age.
Yeah.
That gets tiring. And so sometimes I always feel like, man, am I really passionate about this? But let me get this book real quick.
Pillow
Book
fell.
club.
Book club. I was reading this book. It's called, I don't know if you can see it. It's called Beginner's Pluck. Is it upside down?
There we
That's
go.
how I read it, upside down. It's backwards too. But it's called Beginner's Pluck, and it's all about like finding your passion. And like the way that she talks about it in this book is that you don't really go out there and find your passion, you kind of build on it. So you find something you're interested in, and then you take a step, and then you take another step and another step, and if you don't like it, then you tweak something about it. But I kind of liked how it's like I don't have to go out there and like find something, and if I don't find it, then I'm a failure. I think like where you guys are, like as long as you find something that you're interested in, maybe it's not necessarily in your work life, but like in any aspect of your life, if you just like keep growing in your interest, I feel like that's enough. You know what I mean? You don't have to feel that pressure of like, I need to find my purpose. No, but I got the perception of like, for me, like that's how it was sometimes, like during college, that like I always felt like I have to find what I like, because nobody just picks accounting because they like it. Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely felt like that in college. But like I think now that it's been years after college, your like perspective changes. But that's how I probably felt in college too. I felt so much pressure to like find something I like so I could have a long job on my resume.
That's exactly how I felt. I changed my major literally 5 times. Like I went into school with like nursing, And then I was like, no, like, these science classes are too much for me. Yes, so then I went to business because I was like, okay, I can be like my mom and sit at a desk all day and do all this paperwork. Cool, whatever. Boring. So I went back to science and was like, okay, like, you can do this. You can study science. And at that point, I was at San Jose State, and lecture halls for San Jose State and science classes are like 200 plus people. And literally, like, all you see are people like this, like, and I'm like, okay, am I the only one trying here? And I still failed.
Yeah.
It was so hard. And the guy, my professor, was just so old. And I know he was trying, but there's so many kids in there. Like, how can you really reach all of us?
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, I stumbled upon like a psychology class, and it happened to be in child development. And I just kind of fell in love. And I was like, okay, I fought all this long to not be a teacher, but here it is, finding me. So I guess it's my destiny. And I ended up changing my major to child development and just took off with it.
It's okay. I felt you, Alyssa, because when I went in, I got into public health, thinking I could use that to get into dentistry school. Talked to my advisor. She's like, ain't no way. She's like, you either doing biology, you're doing chemistry, you're doing art, which sounds really weird. I asked the same thing too, and she's like, it has to help with hand-eye coordination, which is what you're going to be doing. And I was like, gotcha. And she's like, and then also psychology, because you want to understand the pain that your clients are going through as you're drilling into their mouth. And I was like, all right, okay. So I went into psychology. I really liked psychology. Like, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to be able to do this. But then I thought logically, hey, if I want to open my own practice, I still have to finish this. I have to go to my master's. I have to do all this, X, Y, and Z before I can actually finally do what I want to do. And I was like, ain't girl, not got no time, got no money. All right, skip. And then I was like, business, okay, easy. Opens a lot of doors for opportunity. And I was like, okay, we're going to go into it. And then they were like, what do you want to do? I guess I'll choose finance. I was like, numbers don't lie. That's how I ended up.
And that's the thing that sucks, is that when you are in college and you have that mentality, like, okay, I really want to be a doctor, or I really want to open my own practice, but it's going to take me so long. And here I am, like 8 years later, like I might as well have just done, been a doctor or been a nurse at this point. You know what I mean? Because here I am 8 years later, and I'm still not even in my career yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 26 thinking like, I should have had my career by now. I should have had all of this. And I feel like that's the mentality that like breaks students from really pursuing what they want to pursue. And it really is heartbreaking, because there's like this perception that like you have to graduate 4 years, you have to do this and get your job and be stable by 30,
Yeah, dude. I think the pressure to graduate within 4 years is also like the biggest thing like students concern themselves with, because they're like, my friend's graduating, this year, and like I changed my major, and so I won't be able to graduate until like next year or the year after. And I was like, it's fine, dude. I was like, I'm in my 5th year and it's totally chill. I was like literally nobody's looking at you and they're like, why isn't this person graduated? Like, no, we're all struggling the same way. It's totally fine.
I finished in 4, but I wanted to stay another just to have fun.
So good. Graduating in 4. Like, I honestly, like, by the time it was like the 3rd year, I was like, there's no way I'm getting out of this.
Well, I went to summer school both times. Like both of the years. And I think transferring also helps because you get what am I trying to say? You get a lot done in community college because they have the whole like I get C thing that you follow where you finish a bunch of classes, and then when you're done with that you could take extra that could also transfer over. So it's like it was really helpful.
That's exactly why I finished in 2 years too.
Yeah,
I'm smart. See, I wish my sisters told me to do community college before going into like, state or university.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it because honestly, like it gets you a feel, 1, for college, and 2, it gets you a feel of being able to test out like all of these classes that you're gonna have to take again anyway. Because there's upper GEs, which are ridiculous, but here you go. You still have to take upper GEs anyway. So even though you can test your waters with psychology, you can test your waters with, health classes and like science classes. And so I feel like, honestly, it's like a good way to go.
And my grades were a lot better in community college than they were in high school. So it helped
1,000%.
me to go to my dream school.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Me too. because my high school GPA was trash.
Same.
What? No, Catherine, yours could not be bad. And Alyssa, I swear y'all's wasn't bad
Mine was
either.
really bad.
For me to get C's like in English all of high school and then go to a community college and be getting A's, like super discouraging, you know? Like you would think high school, the foundation to college would help me become better at my writing and my reading and all that stuff. But instead they wanted to harp on me and be harsh and say like, no, this is what it's going to be like in college. Well, then teach me, you know what I mean? Like teach me how to write better, teach me how to do this. My freshman year in college, I was in English classes with people who did not speak English as their first language.
Oh, so you took remedial English. English.
I was at the bottom, and like the way my junior college did it was we had like core classes. So this same group of people that I had my reading class with, I also had my writing class with. I was literally in reading and in writing. Bro, like I didn't need to be there, but it helped me build foundations to English, and like I knew how to write a sentence. We literally started with writing sentences. That's all we did. We wrote like really strong sentences, and then the next semester we wrote really strong paragraphs, and then the semester after that we wrote essays. And now I can bust out an essay like nothing. But had I not, you know what I mean, had I not placed so terrible, or had I had better teachers in high school to teach me how to write a sentence and write paragraphs, I wouldn't have been in that place in the first place.
Yeah.
Terrible. The system sets you up to fail, and that's why I'm going to change policies. Yep, here I am, unemployed.
Yep, 3 people unemployed.
Technically, you have a job.
Yes,
You're self-employed.
you are your own boss.
Yeah. But it's not like a full time yet, so I'm still applying to jobs.
Life after college, this is what you get to look forward to. Naps. Lots of naps.
Something that I found like was the hardest, like immediately graduating college, was that like I thought that once I graduated, everything would be cool and I wouldn't have to feel like I'm comparing myself to everybody else. But I feel like it got worse because I was like, dang, they make so much more than me, and like they graduated like after me, and I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, how do you guys feel about that? Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
I think that still happens now. Even like you'll be like, I'm at this position at this company, and like your task could literally be the same thing, but somebody else could have it and just like earn more, and just like I don't know, maybe like their environment's better, maybe they're able to move up the ladder, and you're just like, well, here I am stuck in the same position 3 years. What now?
I always thought like at 25 I would have a job that I've already worked at for like 2 or 3 years, and I would feel like I'm at such a stable place where like my savings is like really high. But complete opposite happened, and now I'm like always comparing, like, oh my gosh, I'm 25 and like most of my friends have really good jobs, especially all the ones that live in San Francisco. They're like making bank, and then I'm like, they're younger than me. And I feel like it kind of makes you feel like such a failure, and then it stresses you out because you're like, I don't want to be 30 still searching for like a job I can stay at for a long time, and then trying to like have a really big savings so I could have kids.
Yeah, I hear you. I follow like a lot of people, like underclassmen from high school on like Facebook, and like they're buying houses, they have nice cars, they moved out,
Always on vacation.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Like, how do you
like, how does your job let you go so
Yes.
much? Because every place I worked at never really gave me vacation days. Oh my gosh.
Especially like in the first year,
Yeah.
it's discouraging for sure.
I had PTO at my company and I didn't use it. I totally regret it because I totally should have used it.
Oh.
They didn't
Like-
pay you out.
No. Like they didn't. But I should have done it because it's weird because I just feel like this weird guilt in me. Like I'm saying like, oh, I'm gonna take like this week, like a paid time off, like a week off. But then I just feel guilt because I'm like, well, there's a lot of stuff that my like either like my project manager has to do or stuff that I left behind that I didn't tell them, and I'm just like I can't do that to them. And I just like, and in the end I just don't do it. I'm just like, if I'm gonna take time off, I just take time off and I don't even ask for it. I'm like, I don't want to have that above me.
Yeah, and I don't want them paying me for like taking time off so that I feel bad and I never use mine.
Yes.
I use all my PTO.
Yeah, it's meant for that.
Late.
It's like,
I'm going to Disneyland.
So much to do that I'm like, if I take it off, I'm gonna be stressed after because I've finished everything that I didn't do while I was off.
But I still had a good time in Disneyland, so that's all that matters. It'll eventually catch up.
I feel you, Catherine, because I had accounts where like I had managers on it, but I was mostly the one who was handling them. So I would be like, if I suddenly just toss them back into that email chain, they'd be like, I don't know what's happening. What should I be doing? Like, why am I even on this? It's like, I'll just do it myself.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
God.
It's not my company. It's their money, not my money.
No, now I know for the next place I work at, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna take that PTO a week out. Thank you.
Yes, you deserve it. You work hard.
No, your girl needs money now.
I'm so lucky that I had a really good boss when I worked at Payless in retail.
Hey.
Because it made me a really good boss when I moved up, at Boys and Girls Club, and I had my own site. And one thing that she would always tell us, because obviously we work retail, so we want to like have a few Saturdays off, but it's also important that the store is filled on Saturdays and Sundays. And so she would work every Saturday, and she would work she had off Sundays and Wednesdays, and that's because she would go to church. But anyway, that's beside the point. She always would tell us, it's your time, and as long as you give me 2 weeks in advance and nobody else has requested the day, then I'll more than likely give you off. And I was like, yo, okay. But like obviously, like if somebody else had requested it or whatever, and I think we were allowed like 2 people off on a Saturday with our team, then obviously we couldn't get it. But as long as we gave her 2 weeks and no one else wanted it, it was good. She would give us it off, which was super cool, because when you work retail, it's like all you do is work weekends.
Yeah. They like shove as many people as they possibly can for the weekends because they're like, we're packed, we need all the help we can get. And you're like basically these people just want to shop, sometimes without your help, and we're just there lingering, just like, you need help? Oh no, okay, I'll just come back later. And
and then when they do need help, you're like helping 10 other people.
Yeah, and you're like,
I asked you 5 minutes ago.
I'm so glad I never did retail. I just don't think I can handle it.
It's definitely a good first job for people to just like experience it. Yes. Because I feel like you don't appreciate retail workers unless you've actually worked in retail. Like saying hi to people, if you're a greeter and all you have to do for that whole like 4 hours is say hi, and people are ignoring you, you're like, well, you're a piece of shit. I don't want to say hi to you either, okay?
Well,
fuck you.
I always say hi, and I always pick up clothes that people leave on the floor because I'm like,
you're very nice and considerate.
I hear all these horror stories of my friends working retail, and I was like, I'm not going to treat you like crap because I know my friend hates it.
Even if I walk into a store.
Nice.
What?
Oh, sorry. I just said, I thought you were just like naturally nice.
Well, I do that
nice.
Even before hearing about these stories, but it's like, it just pisses me off when I walk into a store and there's clothes on the floor. And then I'm like, damn, am I working? Because I'm going to pick it all up. I'm going to put it back on the hangers, and I'm going to hang it in the spot it's supposed to go in. And it bothers me. And even like at restaurants, I would always put the plates and everything back into one so that when the waiter comes, they only have to carry it once. I'm basically working. I'm just kidding.
I feel you on that tip. I hated being a greeter, and every time I walk into a store, even if I don't want to say hi, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I just go about my business because I know you were standing there for 3 hours already and ain't nobody said hi to you back.
Wait, do you guys know that? Literally your job?
Or they don't treat, they just,
you're like, where did I hear that? Rotate. But yeah, it's a job. It's literally a job to stand
I
in front
thought
of the
like
store.
when you greet, you also just fold clothes like and stuff. I didn't know you just stood there and just had to greet.
Basically.
No, there are some places that just, they're like, you stand here and you just say hi.
What the hell?
Really?
Because then they'll have secret shoppers. So if you don't say hi, they're gonna be like, I wasn't greeted. Nobody approached me to ask if I needed help. Nobody asked me if I needed assistance while like walking
Nobody
around.
told me
and all
the
that
promo.
shit.
That's
Yes!
a real thing. Secret shop.
Yes.
Oh
That's
my
how we
God.
get audited. And
I
then,
want to
like,
be a
so
secret shopper.
as a greeter, you just like say hi, how's it going? This is our promo today. If you need help, let me know. Blah blah blah.
Yes.
She's
It's
like, I'm
literally
just doing
a
this
script.
because you might be a secret shopper.
Literally. And it could be anybody. We don't know what they look like. We only get like the review after.
You only hear that they're coming on like maybe like a week before, and then they'll be like, okay, today's audit, like everything has to go well. Everybody act better than you were.
Did you guys ever get in trouble?
No.
Oh.
I would get in trouble.
Oh.
Well,
Wait,
okay, I didn't
what
work
retail you work?
It wasn't really retail, but we kind of did the same stuff. But when I used to work at Panera, I had to go, hey, let him in. Every single time. That's how I got my fake smile. And I would get in trouble. If I missed one person, they'd be like, you missed one person. Like, especially like in like my first week, like I was like, that was so awkward. I'd be like, hey, welcome in. And they're like, that's not cheery enough. You need to be happier. I was like, the heck? Yeah. Oh, so stressful. This is stressful for people who have RBF.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Or monotone.
They're like, Alyssa, say it happier. She's like, I am.
I am very happy.
This is my happy tone.
Well, do you guys think life after college is better than life in college?
Yeah, because you're not as stressed about, passing your class and finishing all the reports, having to figure out what classes to take the next semester, if you're even gonna be allowed to take it.
Oh yeah, like getting the time to register.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That specific time was stressful. I had like 50 alarms, 30 seconds apart.
Right, 30 seconds?
No, I'm just kidding. Kidding.
You can't even set seconds.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, but were you guys the people who had like 6 alarms on your thing?
No. I told you guys,
5 minutes apart?
if my body knows that the next day I have to wake up for something, it just wakes up on its own. I've never actually, I think my alarm only rang twice for the past few years.
The hell?
I never understood the people who have to hit snooze or set multiple. I've never,
multiple.
Yeah, no, I can't.
This is how many alarms I still have.
It would stress me out that I'm possibly late. Like, I can't.
And multiple.
Wait, Krista, what are all those alarms for?
Wake
up. I have Krista.
My first wake up, my second wake up, then my alarm after my first break, then I have 2 minutes before lunch ends, and then lunch ends, which is they're 2 minutes apart, and then the end of my last break, and then logging off, and then there's some more in there for nap time.
Wait, if you have the first alarm to wake up and the second alarm to wake up, why not just set the second one so you can sleep?
Because I need to
get up.
She needs the first one to alert her that it's time to get up. Then the second one is, bitch, actually get up and go to work.
Yeah. So you're like laying in bed on your phone, right? You're not like sleeping again.
I'm sleeping again.
It's pretty much sleeping again.
Wait, it's like 2 minutes, isn't it?
No. Then there's 3 wake up alarms. There's the one where I like snooze. I don't know why. I know I shouldn't do it, but it's to alert me that I gotta wake up soon. Okay. So then I snooze that, and then I actually get up on the second one and I make coffee. And if I have time, I'm gonna fall asleep a little bit until it's time to turn the computer on.
I never understood how people could sleep so much. Oh,
me. Pick me.
He tried to take a 7:30 class one time. I could not do it. I saw the sunrise and I said, this is not normal. No.
I think it's so beautiful.
No.
It is beautiful. I love the morning shift at Panera because you can watch a sunrise. Yeah. But to do it every day, hell no. That was that teacher Tiffany.
What?
Oh no, me and Tiffany tried to take a class, like an early morning class, because I think she said the teacher was hot.
I
easy?
told her. I was like, hey, take this math class with me because the professor has really good reviews. And I was like, and he's good looking apparently. So you should be
the
up
chili
anyways."
peppers.
I thought
The
you
chili
literally wanted to wake
peppers.
up to look at how hot he was. I was like, damn.
He was a good looking teacher. I paid
Rate my
attention. I
professor.
passed.
Yeah, but he was a hard ass. He was so
Oh, he
strict.
wasn't.
Catherine, did you
We
ever
would just
use
talk
Rate My
about that.
Professor?
Yeah, all the time. But I think when I got to San Diego, I just stopped caring. I was like, because I just went to class when I needed to. Like, I just like, you know what? Most of the time in college, you can do online. Like, they put up their slides and stuff online, so you can kind of teach yourself.
True.
Yeah.
Sometimes that was better because they just.
Yeah, because you go there and they just read the slides anyways. And I'm like, you're not teaching me anything. You're just repeating what you already wrote.
Yeah.
Honestly, my master program was like a million times better than any of my college courses previously. And it was online, and I did it just like this, sitting in front of a screen, and I was way more entertained, way more engaged than I ever was in any of my college classes. And I don't know if it's because of the standard of the school or if it's just because I had really good professors, but I was always engaged, always super active in conversations. And it wasn't just me, you know what I mean? Like, it might have been because, you know, like we're all teachers and so we're all that one student, you know what I mean? But
and you guys are taking classes you enjoy.
Yeah.
that's a really good point. That's a really good point. But we're forced to take them. Like I didn't get to choose any of my classes in the master program. But it was always like a good conversation, and like everyone was involved, everyone was engaged. Like there was no, you know, dead silence. Like we were all learning. I mean, don't get me wrong, not all my professors were that great, but most of them were great.
That's good.
Dude, okay. I just had to say, my friend called me the other day and she says, or she texted me before she called, she says, I have news for you. And then she put, it's non-baby related, don't worry, because now it's all like baby related news. So like before she even says like what she's gonna tell me, I'm like, did you buy a house? And she goes, yeah. So she's showing me this like beautiful house. It has like it's in downtown San Jose, single family home. It's 3 bedrooms, and like it's like decked out. Like literally, there's a deck and there's vegetables. There's a freaking vegetable garden, all kinds of like crops in there. Also, it comes with chickens, 12 chickens. So that's 12 new eggs a day. And then I think we're kind of the same age. Her husband's only like a little bit older, but not too much older. But like I think the old me, like especially like kind of senior year college and like maybe a year after college, would have been super like jealous, and like I would be like really comparing like myself with her. But I'm just like, you know, this time around, I like really genuinely feel so happy for her, but like I don't feel any of that like jealousy or comparison right now. And I have yet to find out why. I really don't know why, like what's different between me and them. But I think maybe I'm just older and just like realize like I'm in my own lane.
Everyone has their own path.
Definitely. I think also if you think about it after like college too, you would have been like, damn, she got that because you know she has a job right now and you know all this other stuff. I mean, you have a job right now too. You're basically almost gonna get married, homie. Like you already in your own journey. So it's probably gonna happen in the next couple of years. You know, it's gonna be a little slow, but you're gonna make it there.
Yeah, I just like wanted to make sure that like hopefully I can encourage you guys, because like I know I struggle with like the comparison thing, but I was like, I hope you guys don't like feel like the stress of comparison like how I did. Like I think we could all like root for each other while being in our own lanes.
I feel like it's just natural though to sometimes compare yourself because we are really stressed. Like we can say like, oh, we're gonna try not to stress about it, but money is like a huge thing. Like when you don't have money, it's stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also one of the most like kind of like sensitive topics to talk to people with too, because like they're like they don't really want to be compared by how much they make or like what's in their savings.
I don't mind talking about it if I
know.
know the people I'm talking to aren't judging me. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
True.
there's some people I
Fake
will never
people.
tell them because like as soon as I tell them how much I make, they're gonna be like, "That's it." Then it's like, okay, I'm not gonna talk to you about money anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
So Shonda Rhimes is really funny, and she has a book that says Year of Yes.
Shows that
Year of
book.
Yes. Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, so it's called Year of Yes, and it's really good. And it's about Shonda Rhimes and how she literally said no to everything. And so she took a whole year and said yes to everything. And she would literally say no to like going to like Ellen's party, meeting the president, like big no's, like not just like, no, I'm not gonna go hang out with you. And so her sister basically got at her and was like, you always say no. And so this whole year she says yes. And so in the book, she talks about how there were some times where, you know, she had to choose up. Was she buying toilet paper or was she buying wine? And she was like, sometimes the toilet paper didn't always win.
Wait, did she say, was it no because of
I like
money?
that.
It was just no, because she was just like a reserved person.
Oh, okay.
And she just felt like she didn't have to be like there. I don't think she sees herself as famous, or maybe as like some of these people see themselves. But yeah, have you guys ever had to like choose up on buying something? It doesn't even have to be like groceries. It could be anything, just to have a social life.
Just to have a social
Yeah.
life.
Well, does after college?
Yes.
Sometimes when I'm like, if I have too many plans with different friends throughout the week, and I'm like, okay, I already ate out so many times, then yeah, I just won't spend money and I'll just eat at home just so I can enjoy the time with my friends. And I guess like I'll stop myself from shopping if I know I'm running out of money, but I've never had to like pick and choose where it's like stressing me out, I think, because I would just stop spending.
I had some like budget times where if it was like, ooh, I don't know if I could really afford to eat out this much. Like I would eat hella at home and like make it like so that I wouldn't want to eat another thing if I went somewhere else. And I would just get like a drink instead. And I'd be like, okay, cool. Like I could still have my social life, but like for considerably cheaper than like what it would have been.
There's times too, us four were like, let's eat cheaper meals this time, or like let's just hang out at someone's house because we don't want to spend anymore. You could just straight up ask your friends to just eat McDonald's.
Dude, and those are the best hangouts.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, usually if it's like, if someone wants to hang out and it's not necessarily like I don't want to spend money, you just or like I'm just kind of lazy. I just be like, oh well, I'm just gonna eat at home. But if you want to chill, like you get boba after, or just come by and like to my house to have drinks and like play board games, like I'm down for that.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes I have to choose between spending time with my family and then spending time with my friends, and then also spending time with Michael. So it's like three, and I don't want to seem like, oh, I'm only spending time with my boyfriend, you know. I try to make a lot of time to hang out with my family, to hang out with my nieces and my sisters, and then also to hang out with you guys, and then hang out with like my other group. So it's like,
yeah.
And sometimes I get very tired. I get drained socially very fast. So that's why I usually try to do like maybe like 1 or 2 a week. I can't do more than that because then I'm just like, I'm pooped out.
Sometimes I like end up eating dinner at home like once that week because I went out so much and I'm tired, but like I don't know, when I go out with people, even if I'm tired, suddenly I'm just like, ooh, I'm ready, and like I just keep going until my like even my body like wants to crash. I'm just like, no. That's my problem.
You're like an Energizer bunny, just like keeps going and going.
Yeah, I just want to like keep going.
All right, thanks everybody for listening. That was our episode this week. Hope to see you next Tuesday.
Bye,
Hey, bitchin'.
Hey, bitchin'.